Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Monday Market Analysis video. This is Trader Tim from over at eminimind.com, and today is January 7th, 2019. As you can see on my ES weekly chart, this big retracement long that I've got drawn is where we bounced last week, and that's 23.75 and change. Now, on the weekly chart, we've got a series of these big body candles down, and the high from, I'm using the December 3rd high down to lows to give us the opposing 25.7150. And then the next stop, if we break through that, I would revert to the full halfway back. So these are kind of the two resistance points above us. And you can see how this smaller one we tagged today. Let me go to the daily chart so you can see that a little bit better. Smaller one we tagged today, the full from highs down to lows, the 50% retracement, lines up with the bottom of the, which was support up at 26.43, now would be resistance. So two very likely levels to see some resistance. Today was important in that we did come up and touch right at the 50% retracement. And so it'll be interesting tomorrow to see if we end up breaking highs and maybe trade up a little bit higher in sort of a big body candle trend day. And for those that might be trying to put on shorts here, you might get some short covering, and then you might get some folks kind of chasing, trying to put on some longer term positions. So this could easily turn into a big body candle day that takes us up to this 26.43, the full retracement short. Or we also might get a little bit more of a sell-off and sort of a retest of this 23.40 or at least 23.75s. Would not be surprised if we come back down and get a bounce a second, maybe a third time. And so, I give these two scenarios just to kind of keep in mind that even though the market has made this sort of V here, where we kind of, what it looks like we've gone straight down and straight up, there's been quite a bit of overlap on these daily candles. And so that indicates, still a lot of indecision. One day you get, big short covering and sort of a big body trend day, and then the market kind of falls off and looks like it's going to roll right back over, and then the bulls kind of come back in and push the market up again. So there's a lot of activity happening down in this area. So it's still a tough trading environment, even though it might look like, oh, Dow plus 1,000, Dow down 500, Dow up 500. Those may sound like very hot, good trading days. They can be fairly challenging. If we come over and take a peek at the VIX, I will say this is the first time, or one of the first times, I've never seen this kind of volatility at the end, so close to the end of the year. So that time between Christmas and New Year's is typically very low volume and not anything like what we saw this past year. So very, very interesting, the price action that we got. Well, let me talk about the VIX and then I'll get back to that. So we had this spike here in the 24th, and then we've since pulled back down quite a bit, back into the low 20s. And so a much bigger retracement in the VIX compared to the bounce that we've had in the S&P. If we look at this high where the VIX rally started, it was back here on the 13th, and back here the 12th, 13th is up here, and we've only come about halfway in the S&P. So it's it's definitely a challenging market. I didn't trade, like I said, the week between Christmas and New Year's. I was, spending time with family. The only thing I really did was put on add to some longer term positions. I talked about this in the last video. Using these bigger levels, these bigger retracements below us when the market's made a bigger correction after you pile up some cash. That's a great opportunity to add to I'm talking about a retirement account, a longer term portfolio. If you're already in your retirement years, it's not quite as applicable, but for those that are you know building that retirement wealth or just building wealth in general, these are great opportunities to be able to add to longer term positions. Even if we roll over here and move lower, it's still a much better buy down here than it was up here. And so that's really all I did in terms of account management last week. So in the next couple days, I'll be looking for those first 15, 30 minutes of the day to really show me some good signs of, retracements, moving in good form. I want to see the market pull back to a 50%, bounce, move up to its target, and then, either pull back again or keep going. And so until that happens, I'm going to kind of take a slow approach into the year and kind of ease my way into the year. There's no need to come in and start things off on a bad note and then kind of feel like you're underwater to get the year going. So tomorrow we've got Red Book and the Jolts report. We'll be doing a live trading session. As we do. Those will resume again tomorrow, the Tuesday live trading room, and then let's see, Thursday jobless claims and Jerome Powell speaking as well. So that could be a little bit dicey. That's Thursday afternoon. Jerome Powell is going to be speaking. So these first couple weeks will be interesting. To see, what kind of trend begins to develop. If we just stay range bound in between these two 50s, that's a trend in itself, range boundness. So that will the trend that we develop here at the start of the year tends to dictate a little bit of the pace and trend that takes us into the spring. So nonetheless, there should be a lot of good trading opportunities in the weeks and months to come. And I wish everyone a great start to 2019. And I will hopefully talk to many of you in the Tuesday trading room tomorrow morning. You can get more information about that at eMoneyMind.com/VIP. Oh, and one last thing, for those that are starting the year off on a good note and getting some momentum, there's a couple good books I would recommend. Thinking in Bets is one that I've read through that I've mentioned to a few of you. And then the other one is Atomic Habits for those that are, you know, very looking to kind of grow that framework for your trading and build good habits around your trading. There's some really good actionable insights in that book as well. Atomic Habits, both of them are available on Amazon. James Clear is Atomic Habits, and Thinking in Bets is by Annie Duke. So I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.